There's my puppy. Good morning from me and Frankie. Okay, so see all the shades are pulled. There's no natural sunlight in this house. It is dark. Preparing for the hot humidity. I have good windows and good shades, curtains, but I have one window in the kitchen that the intense sun comes in, and it must not be as high quality of window as the rest or put in correctly. I don't know, but a lot of heat comes right in there. And I was raised kind of poor in old country houses, and in the winter or in the summer you had to shut the house down with all these curtains to keep the climate separated, because propane, if you ran out of propane and the weather was terrible, you weren't getting a refill until the roads were clear. So anyway, it's just a habit. It keeps the house cooler. So I try to turn on a few lights just to make sure that I'm not sitting in the dark. Plus my office has to be lit. But just a couple little lights, excuse me. Nothing big. So I hope you're staying cool and not overheating. I'm gonna try this elf again. I really think that it's a good color for me. The deal is, this is full coverage. Unless you thin it down with something. To me, it's like putting on a thin layer of clay. I was really surprised the first time I tried it. All right, time to vent. I was thinking about one of the things that helped my depression that I might not have shared yet. If I did, I shared it in a different way. There's I don't know what even to call it. I'm not sure that it's called a religion. Excuse me. But it's a way of thinking. Oh, you sweet. One of my favorite headbands that I've ever had. And I've had it once before, a decade or more ago. When you find them where they have the fabric stitched nice and tight, these last, and this fits so good. Found it. So anyway, this philosophy that I used in over one of my humps in recovery is called the I Ching, and it talks about you can do the meditation, which is sort of a rolling coins, tossing coins and adding them up to get the right page. Or you can just go through it page by page, as far as I'm concerned. If you do get some interest in the I Ching, I would definitely go with the one by Carol Anthony. She's really good at translating the I Ching in English. Let me turn my fan up. I was outside just for a few minutes with the dogs, and God, it's not even all that hot yet. It's humid hot. You know what I mean? Okay, so, and I don't have my hair clip in here. And I am wearing my hair down if I have to crank the AC up, because my head and neck are just tired of my hair being tied up. So anyway, rough morning. No. Anyway, in the I Ching, one of my favorite things that it talks about is standing strong. And it gives an example. I don't know what page it's on. If anybody's interested, I can look it up. I haven't used it for a while. But it talks about standing strong. So you imagine yourself on a beach and the wind is coming. It's starting to stir up a storm. The sand, the water's coming at you, and the force of the wind is picking up. And instead of hunkering down, which is okay sometimes, but that's where, even in yoga, it's like, do you have it in you to push a little bit more? Or do you need to know to stand still or to hunker down, right? These are three distinct decisions, three distinct behaviors. Leaning in, standing strong, hunkering down, right? And there are other choices too, I'm sure. I'm just saying. So, I was thinking about how for years I was riding on emotions. My feelings are hurt, or I'm happy, so I'm going to do this behavior or that behavior. Everything was on how I felt. The weather affected my feelings, relationships, jobs, how much money I made that week on commission, my next title. And it wasn't just fuel for my bank account, it was fuel for my ego. Very important to me, my ego, my feelings, everything reflected on how I thought other people were going to see me and how I saw myself. Right? So, that meant, for me, if I didn't feel well, I felt terrible. I didn't have a lot of in between because I was riding on emotions. I either felt good or I didn't. I have to find a backup for this brush because if I ever... This is an LA Colors nail brush. Can you believe that? Look what I did in my shirt. I knew I was going to lather on the powder today, but I forgot to tap it a little harder. This thing holds a lot of powder. And I put my powder mixture in this jar, and it's in my drawer, so it's kind of hard to tap it out if it's down there. That jar's holding up pretty well. Okay, am I powdered sufficiently? Let's see. Yes, ma'am. So, anyway. And, but in the I Ching, I'm glad I was steered towards that, because it doesn't matter if it's your religion or not. If there's a certain way of thought, a religion, a theory, a psychology technique, whatever works for you. Sometimes hand tapping works excellent for people. Tapping has helped me immensely. It really helped me get over the heartbreak of my mom and myself's relationship. If you have like almost a trauma that triggers you, tapping is excellent. Please give that a try. Lots of videos on YouTube. Where's Frankie? Oh, wow. So, standing strong and leaning in, not hunkering down. I was writing these emotions. So when I started practicing leaning in to discomfort, I was able to stay in more relationships, because otherwise, if I got uncomfortable, it was fight or flight. I hardly ever stood strong. I hardly ever leaned in. And then I had to look at, is leaning in appropriate? So it's kind of like yoga. You have to kind of feel out how your body's feeling and how the situation is going, using your intellect, what your body's trying to tell you, and your heart, but not just going on brain chemicals. And people say, oh, it's my heart. No, it's your attachment, right? It gets complicated if you overthink it. It's about experimenting and what actually works. So here's what was key for me. It was key for me to get out of bed in the morning, regardless of how I felt. Leaning into my day, standing strong. It didn't matter how I felt. I refused to hunker down anymore. And that went for what I was eating as well, and what I was drinking. Anything that was going to affect what I said my goal was. And it also helped me renegotiate what my new goals are. Like, I was working with a gal, and I've worked with men too, so, but I'm thinking of this beautiful, sweet thing. I wanna lose weight, but she was saying, I can't lose the weight, I can't lose the weight. Like, okay, you're hunkering down. You're hunkering down. You're holding on to it. You're holding on. You're saying, I can't. I said, replace that with I won't. And see if that fits a little better. And how did I know that? Because I was doing it myself at one time. And sometimes I accidentally catch myself doing it. Yeah. So there's no feelings do not matter all the time. People really overinvest in feelings, and it's become an addictive drug. Take a breath. I know. I'm not trying to cause, World War III here. I'm just saying we're overinvesting in feelings when we need to just get the job done. That's how the world has evolved so quickly in the last, I don't know, a very long time. If you look at history, the timeline of how things were invented, shifts in religions, property lines, freedoms. I mean, dang, right? A lot has happened since, I don't know, you decide what parts of history are important to you, but to me, a lot has happened in the last, I would say, 300 years, 400 years, that have impressed me the most. Let's see. I'm gonna definitely say the last 500-600 years. Yeah, it's like, whoa, you gotta be kidding me. Look at all these changes. So, I've got a long day today, so I'm gonna layer on the makeup so I feel pretty and confident. I love this eyeshadow tip I was given to add a little bit of that brick color. Just love it. This is a good brush too. Where'd I get this one? I cannot read without my glasses. That print is teeny. Oh, this is the Bestope. Best, B-E-S-T-O-P-E. I bought a whole group of these, and this is my favorite one out of the group. And then this one I'm going to use probably for foundation. This was the foundation one, but it's not quite my favorite. I think I just dug these out recently. I've used it once. It wasn't my favorite. So anyway. So when I started feeling depressed while I was on this new mission, I pushed myself out of bed whether I felt like it or not. Oh, that Mel, what's her name? Mel Robbins or Mel something. I think it was Robbins. She's like, 1, 2, 3, go. Boom. Right? She wasn't around back when I was going through this though. What mine was I had a lady at a women's group say, you put one leg outside the sheets and then just like a snake, slither out of bed till you're on the floor. And if you have to crawl to the bathroom to go pee, do that. But you are getting out of that damn bed. I'm like, okay. So I did it. There was a morning when I just did not want to get out of that darn bed. I did not. And so I tried it, and it hit my sense of humor. You know, the ironic. So I use that a lot. Or anyway, thinking about it. If I'm struggling, like, okay, and I'll put one leg out, and then I don't necessarily fall out of bed, but I'll put one leg out just for the sense of humor. And yeah, that's how things got done throughout the years, is people who didn't give in to feelings. And that doesn't mean you can't have a family, you can't have emotions. And I've been thinking about this lately because for some reason my sleep patterns have been on the blink again. Last night I had some decent sleep, but it's been kind of crappy lately as far as if I were going to rate my sleep quality. And oh, mascara. I feel naked. I feel like naked. These are the clothes for my eyes. Just how people are writing on so many emotions on TV. I was like, holy crap, folks, back down. Slow down. You can't, society cannot, I don't think, survive on all these emotions. And it's been going on now for a couple years. It's like, enough's enough. It's just gone too far. People need to slow down. And I really don't think it's necessary to have that much volume at all. And intensity. But that's just me. That kind of behavior always makes me think, what are they going to do next? Or if they're smiling inappropriately. That's one of the scariest ones to me. Anyway, it's all these extreme emotions instead of just getting the business done. So yeah, because of the lack of sleep, I was having trouble doing some things that are not on my to-do list. And so, thank God for makeup, right? Sorry, God, you don't care about makeup. Look how fast those eyelashes grow. My nails and eyelashes and hair grow so fast. Starting to come down in here again. I'll trim them another day, but not today. I'll just take some of the mascara off the tips. Sometimes if you can't get it just right, just squeeze the mascara and it'll come off on your fingers. Yeah, very good. Yay! So yeah, if you don't feel like getting out of bed, just do it anyway. No pouting. Don't give yourself time to pout. That was my thing, is not giving myself time to pout. Not giving myself time to analyze how I felt and why I felt that way. And you know, I tell you all the time, there is, so I'm just reminding you, there's a time and a place for analyzing your feelings. But it's not first thing in the morning. First thing in the morning, as soon as you wake up, have a pad and paper sitting next to your head so you can write down the first thoughts that come into your mind. Write them down and then let them go. Take a breath, shake it off, and just go, oh, thank God for this next morning. And for me, it's like, dearest Heavenly Father, thank you for another day to share your love and your light. Please guide me to say and do the things that you would have me do to lead them your way. Amen. That's it. And it doesn't matter what God it is. Just go in your day with intention. Now, see, I said it like automatic, but I really mean it. I really mean it. Because I can be so self-centered, right? I am a very feeling-orientated person. So I need to have little routines, like my own religion, my own rituals. That's what religion is. It's rituals, right? In my opinion, to go through my day so that I stay on track with my personal relationship with my personal higher power, so that I'm living my personal life and goals instead of getting spun out on my feelings and getting stuck and hunkering down. Right? So I'm standing strong more often. I can stand in my truth more often. Now, I'm sounding pretty sure of myself right now, but that isn't always true. If I'm up against the right person at the right time on the wrong day, I can forget who I am a little bit. Not completely, but a little bit. And then I can feel a little unstable. And then I can go into those old neural pathways that make me feel insecure, right? So that's why practice is so important. That's why they call it a yoga practice, a medical practice. You have to keep it up and stay on top of things. And then, of course, rest. Let's not take this to the extreme. Dear days. Hello, Hallmark Channel. Oh, excuse me. Hello, Hallmark Channel, and happy remote control. Right? Hey, I love you guys, and I will talk to you soon. Please leave a comment. I love hearing from you. Bye for now. Oh, bye, Frankie. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye for now.